क्योंकि आप लोगों ने बताया कि इधर उधर भटक जाते हैं। थोड़ा अपने आप को पूछिए कि जब आप ऑनलाइन रीडिंग करते हैं तो सचमुच में रीडिंग करते हैं कि रील देखते हैं।
Do you also feel addicted to social media reels at times? If yes, then hang on till the end.
Social media addiction is no longer just a concern, it's a crisis. What begins as a casual habit of scrolling quickly turns into hours of mindless consumption, leaving us drained, anxious, and disconnected from reality. Studies show that excessive social media use is linked to higher levels of stress, irritability, and compulsiveness. But why does something as simple as watching short videos have such a profound effect on human behavior?
The input is too much for your eyes, for your ears. And then see, if you had to see colors, you had to wait for the sunset, sit there and wait. Then one spectacular color arose, but if you're looking at your phone, it went away. But today you turn on the television, every goddamn color in the universe is just going on and on and on endlessly. All this has immense impact. See, there are 5 sources of receptivity for you from the outside world. There are 5 openings: your vision, your hearing, your smell, your taste, and your touch. The simplest aspect of life is this. Essentially, your eyes are designed to take 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. Starlight, moonlight, okay. Now, literally every waking moment of your life, light is penetrating. And sounds, just imagine, suppose you lived in the same place. It is still here like this. If you stay in the ashram, it's still quiet. If you lived here, once in a way some noise happened. Otherwise, generally quiet, little bit of insects making noise, this, that's about it. Now 24 hours something is going on. Automobiles are going on. In United States, everywhere there is some machine buzzing all the time. You know, if I travel here for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, it becomes like, something is going on. In any building you sit, something is going on. When I go back to ashram in India, if I sit there, it's still like that, absolutely still. And the impact that it has on your system is tremendous. All the time there is sound and vibrations going on. As if that's not enough, people are wearing headphones and all the time, dang, 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 dang. They call it music, but the musician doesn't even bother to play it, it's just a machine. Well, maybe that's better than listening to people around you. Maybe you think it's better than the automobile noises that's around you. But non-stop impact of sound, non-stop impact of light, non-stop impact of various other inputs, this affects everybody. All the time bright lights on, it is telling on your system.
Social media platforms are a major driver of increased sensory input. They intentionally exploit human psychology to keep users engaged for as long as possible. These platforms overwhelm our senses by using fast-changing scenes, autoplay features, immersive background music, and use of certain colors to create a sense of urgency. Let's see how these platforms are designed to be addictive. A research from Harvard University explains every time we get likes, comments, or notifications, dopamine, which is the reward chemical, gets released in our brains. This makes us repeat the behavior and fuels addiction. It further says, infinite swiping is a design feature that continuously pushes forward new content after a user has exhausted content from the people they follow. These tactics pose serious threats. Just like use of alcohol, nicotine, or drugs, the act of swiping triggers neurological reward. Over time, the brain learns to seek social media instead of more natural rewards, putting users at risk of dissociation with the meaningful priorities. Now let's see how social media impacts our mental health. Increased anxiety and depression. A study published in JAMA Psychiatry 2022 found that adolescents who spent more than 3 hours per day using social media may be at heightened risk for mental health problems, particularly internalizing problems. The Center for Human Technology explains that when we receive social validation, the reward center in our brain light up, triggering a release of dopamine. During times of anxiety and low self-esteem, the desire for social validation and connection increases. This brings us to social media platforms, which are designed to provide instant validation. However, they also addict us to their use. As social media usage increases, it actually worsens anxiety and self esteem issues, thus trapping us in a continuous cycle. Reduce attention spans. In one of the papers published by the Varsity University of Toronto, it was mentioned that the growing social media addiction is fueling a worldwide decline in attention spans. Mark noted that the average global attention span in 2004 was 2.5 minutes, which dropped to 75 seconds by 2012 and has since decreased to 47 seconds over the past 5 to 6 years. In a similar research done by Microsoft, it was found that the average human attention span has dropped to 8 seconds, which is actually shorter than a goldfish attention span of 9 seconds. And this is due to constant digital stimulation. Although many experts disagree with this research, it is still confirmed that the attention span of humans is generally considered to be decreasing with the increased use of social media. Another major impact of social media is sleep disruption and fatigue. Electronic devices used for social media emit blue light, which has a short wavelength. Exposure to this blue light suppresses melatonin secretion in our body, which delays sleep cycles and lead to insomnia and chronic fatigue. Now, all these researches and study help us understand why Oxford chose BrainRot as the word of the year 2024. The dictionary defines it as the supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, especially viewed as the result of overconsumption of material. Now, particularly online content, considered to be trivial or unchallenging.
जितना आईपैड के अंदर घुसने में आनंद आता है, मोबाइल फोन के अंदर घुसने में आनंद होता है, उससे हजारों गुना आनंद
In today's world where there is such an onslaught of sounds and colors, visuals upon our senses, that turning inward looks like a very remote thing for most people. In yoga, there is a dimension. In the Ashtanga Yoga, one of the limbs is Pratyahara. Pratyahara means taking your sensory engagement from the outside world and put it inside. If not the whole day, let's say 6 hours a day or 12 hours a day or whatever is possible for you, you can even start with 1 hour or 2 hours, just keeping your eyes closed, not looking at anything. Initially, your mind may go all over the place, it's okay, don't try to control it, let it go wherever it wants. I want you to understand it doesn't go anywhere, it's just replaying old stuff. Oh, my mind will go somewhere. No, your mind doesn't go anywhere. This is the illusion you have to break, that you believe your mind is going somewhere, which means you're misunderstanding psychological process for an existential reality. Psychological process is just made up by you playing your own stupid, badly directed cinema and believing it's true. This is a good time that you try to do this in a day, a certain amount of time, whatever that is. You close your eyes and sit. But something happened, somebody made some noise, somebody did something. Okay, not like that. Especially when you think something important is happening, you must close your eyes. Yes, because engagement with the world has to become conscious, that's all. If engagement with the world is conscious, however much you're engaged with the world, it doesn't leave you, disturbed or freaked out. When your engagement is compulsive and reactionary, then you will see smallest things are throwing people off. Most human beings just earning a living, raising a family, dying one day. For this, how much turmoil people are going through is unbelievable. It's not even fair. Just to do simple things that every other creature is doing, this is because their engagement with the world is compulsive, not conscious. This is a good time for you to experiment with this, that you bring some pratyahara into your life, wherever you are, whoever you are. It doesn't matter, you don't need any training. Just sit with eyes closed. It's all right, mind is running away, let it run. Don't try to stop it, because there are no brakes on it. All the three pedals are throttle, whichever way you touch it, it'll only run faster. So don't do anything, it will run. It will run because it has a certain karmic momentum. If you just leave it for some time without tending to it, it will slow down and it will stop. Do not worry about stopping the mind, not stopping the mind. All I am saying is, Do not engage with the outside world for whatever number of hours that you can. Start with an hour, push it to 6 to 12 hours a day. You will see, you will have the necessary energy to hit the peaks. Right now, the biggest problem why human beings are not able to become blissful and exuberant within themselves is lack of energy. If they're joyful for 3 minutes, then they will sink. Actually, there are sayings like this in the society. Socially, people believe that if you become very exuberantly joyful today, tomorrow you will be miserable. Because their batteries are like that today if they're very exuberant, tomorrow it'll become depressed. So, Pratyahara is a key element to create that kind of an energy system which can take any experience of life in its stride and doesn't put you down. Good time to turn to Pratyahara.
जीवन में खुद से भी जुड़ना ये भी उतना ही महत्व है जितना आईपैड के अंदर घुसने में आनंद आता है, मोबाइल फोन के अंदर घुसने में आनंद होता है, उससे हजारों गुना आनंद अपने भीतर घुसने का भी होता है। तो दिन भर में कुछ पल ऐसे निकालिए कि जब आप ऑनलाइन भी नहीं होंगे, ऑफलाइन नहीं होंगे, इनर लाइन होंगे। जितना अंदर जाएंगे आप अपनी ऊर्जा को अनुभव करेंगे। अगर इन चीजों को कर लेते हैं तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि ये सारे संकट आपके लिए कठिनाई पैदा करेंगे।
Remember me? Next time when you want to combat social media or digital addiction, practice Pratyahara. Withdraw your senses from the outer world and turn them inward. Sit with your eyes closed for a certain amount of time each day. Tap into the infinite reservoir of energy within you.